Hello everybody and welcome to Strudel Talk. In today's episode, I want to share a deeply personal story about friendship, trust, and what happens when someone you care about accuses you of things you didn't do. The following story is my personal experience and opinion. All names and identifying details have been changed to protect the privacy of those involved. Nothing in this episode should be taken as a statement of fact about any specific person. Any similarities to real people or situations are purely coincidental. This content is for storytelling and reflection purposes only, and it is not intended to harm anyone's reputation. The given names are purely fictional, and people in this story will be called Mina and Alba. This is not about revenge or shaming anyone. It's about telling my side of story and processing what happened to me. Mina and I had been friends for many years, nearly 8. We have been through so much together, and I always thought we had a solid foundation of trust, and Alba is her girlfriend. Recently, Mina sent me a very long text message, essentially ending our friendship. I wish I could share the exact text message I received and my reply, but because of privacy and defamation laws, I can't read them out loud here. What I can do legally is share a summary of what was said and how it has impacted me. If you could read the actual message, you would see how hurtful, disrespectful, and shocking it was, especially coming from someone I had been friends with for that many years. I will give you a backstory. Earlier this year, I joined a group trip. This was planned by Mina and Alba. Most of the people there were Alba's friends, not mine. I joined mainly because of Mina. I wanted to spend time with her and genuinely just have a good time. So you can imagine I only knew one person well, who was Mina. When we arrived, I quickly realized that even though I did not know the others well, they were kind and welcoming, which made me happy. Sometimes planning activities was a bit tricky, but things usually worked out in the end. During the trip, Mina spent most of her time with her partner and with others, which I completely understood, so I found myself connecting more with the others. At the same time, I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't really seen as Mina's friend, but more like her partners. At one point during the trip, I sensed tension between my friend, or my former friend, and her partner. The first incident occurred in front of me and the others. Since I knew Mina well, I could see that she was upset. Later evening, they disappeared from sight for some time, but as soon as they appeared, everyone looked at them. Yet I had a question to ask Mina due to our malfunctioning light. The next day, I saw Mina almost as though she had been crying earlier because simply I was in a public space minding my own business. I did not know what had happened and I didn't want to intrude. Knowing her personality, I thought it was best to give her space and let her open up on her own terms. My intention was to be respectful and supportive, not distant or uncaring. Before the trip, there was a moment where Mina kindly offered to pay me for my boat ride ticket. I appreciate the gesture deeply, but I declined. I didn't want to feel obligated to do something I wasn't fully comfortable with simply because someone else had paid for it. But she made a comment about me receiving government support, implying that it was a decent amount of money. This surprised me because anyone who truly understands my financial situation knows how tight things have been for me. In that moment, I felt that comment was a bit unthoughtful coming from that close friend. Mina also once joked about me choosing to go bouldering instead of taking the boat ride to watch the sunset for an hour and a half. On the surface, it might seem like a small thing, but to me, it felt like I was being judged for how I chose to spend my limited money and my personal time. Even though I was struggling financially at the time, I never once tried to jeopardize the group's decisions, like where to eat or what activities to do. Aside from that sunset boat ride, I did my best to include myself and fully participate, but I'm also someone who needs personal time to recharge. That's just who I am, and it had nothing to do with excluding anyone or creating drama. Being honest, there was a moment during the trip when Mina and Alba had a slightly heated discussion at the dinner table. Several people, including myself, witnessed it, and some even joined the conversation to try to help. I won't go into private details of what was said, but it was clear there was a tension, and it wasn't just between two of them, others were aware of it as well. Weeks later, I received a long message from Mina. In it, she accused me of several things. Number one, that I had been eavesdropping on her private conversations with her partner. Number two, that I had called her and her partner a very hurtful name, a word I want to make clear I have never said. Number three, that I had been sharing her private information with her ex-partner, which supposedly reached her family. Number four, and finally, that I was malicious, manipulative, and toxic. These accusations deeply shocked me because they don't reflect who I am or how I behave in friendships. For example, about so-called eavesdropping. I don't even know what private conversation she was referring to. There was one time she and her partner were speaking about meeting someone, but it happened in front of several people, not just me. It's painful to be accused of something so serious when I know I was simply moving around the room, not intentionally listening in on anything. Regarding the second accusation, she claimed I called her and her partner insulting term. The truth is, I never used that word. The only thing I mentioned privately to someone very close to me was that she had been in severe back pain during the trip. I even recommended her to go to hospital during the trip, but she declined. Also, it surprised me that despite her obvious discomfort and reliance on painkillers, she chose not to take a taxi straight to the hospital from the airport when it would have been a relatively small cost. To have that concern twisted into me using a hurtful word feels deeply unfair. As for the third accusation about sharing private information, I want to clarify that I expressed my experiences during the trip, how it was my two close friends, as exactly I just described to you all. I'm not aware of any private conversations that I overheard or relayed. If there is a claim that I eavesdropped and shared information that reached others, I would like to ask for a proof of such an incident. Finally, being labeled as malicious, manipulative, and toxic was incredibly painful. These are not just casual words. They directly attack my character and who I am as a person. If someone truly believes these things, I think it's only fair that they provide specific examples or evidence. Otherwise, it's not just hurtful, it's creating a false narrative about me that can seriously harm my reputation and relationships. Besides the accusations, in the same message, she mentioned that over the course of our friendship, she had noticed my behavior, suggesting that I tend to thrive on drama and make myself the center of it. I want to clarify that I had never sought to be the center of attention. In fact, I strongly dislike it, and I guess after 8 years of friendship, she may not have realized that. At the same time, I think it's worth noting that everyone experiences drama, including her. She also mentioned that I was making her partner and their friends look bad. In the beginning of my friendship with her partner, my initial impression was influenced by conversations I had with Mina, which at the time gave me a negative perception, though this may have been a misunderstanding on my part. Over time, as I got closer to her partner, I realized that she was very different from the image I had first formed. I like to give people chances, and I was happy to see that my first impressions were wrong. Unfortunately, just as I felt I was building a genuine connection with her partner, Mina decided to put a stop to it. It's always nice to feel accepted by your partner's friends, and I can see that, Mina, you're fully welcomed by them. From my perspective, however, it seems that you will always be Alba's partner and there will always be Alba's friends. I can't help but wonder how many friends you have on your own side. Earlier this year, there was a situation where you stepped away from another friendship, and now it feels like similar situation is happening to me. Also, you included in the message about Alba's friends, and you said that I lost trust of them, which meaning I didn't have any intention to do so. During that trip, whatever personal information I gathered from them, I never cross-shared. As well as I had any intention to share anything negative thoughts about Alba's friends to any other people. However, I don't know where you got what kind of information. Please come to me and prove that. At the end of her message, she told me not to contact her her again. By doing this, she cut off any chance for me to explain my side or to ask for proof of the accusations. It seemed to me that she had already made up her mind about what to believe, regardless of what actually happened. In my view, if Mina had wanted to respect our 8 years of friendship, she could have given facts and reasons to explain why she believed her assumptions were valid. I'm not asking for our friendship back. What I want is the opportunity to defend myself and my reputation. Everyone deserves the chance to be heard when serious accusations are being made against them. I'm sharing this story not to create drama, but because I have learned how damaging false accusations can be. They don't just hurt personally, they can ripple outward, affecting your relationships, your mental health, and even your career. If Mina, a former friend of mine, were to continue spreading these accusations, I would have to carefully consider my legal options to protect my reputation. I hope it doesn't come to that, but I want to make it clear that these matters are very serious to me. This experience has been heartbreaking, but it also taught me the value of open communication and mutual trust. True friends talk to each other face to face when problems arise. As I move forward, I have come to realize that friendships, like all relationships, require mutual respect and honest communication. When trust breaks down, it's incredibly painful, but it also teaches us valuable lessons about boundaries and self-worth. My hope in sharing this story is not to reopen old wounds or point fingers, but shed light on how easily misunderstandings and assumptions can spiral into serious conflicts. If you ever experienced false accusations or lost a friendship in a painful way, please know you're not alone. My wish is that we all find the strength to have a difficult conversations face to face with compassion and clarity before things reach a breaking point. Thank you for listening and for allowing me to share my truth in a safe and respectful way. And with this, I am almost coming end of my episode. And before that, I wanna give you the weekly song suggestion. I discovered this band called Leisure, and I was listening to their song and one song stuck in my head. The name of the song is Know You Better. I hope you will like the song too, and they're coming to Vienna in December, and if you want to go to their concert, buy the tickets. Thank you for patiently listening to my podcast. If you don't want to miss out new episodes, click subscribe and follow me. I also have now Instagram account called Strudel Talk, so there you can also follow me and see what I'm doing and posting, so you will be always up to date. Until the next episode, bye!